have many traditions in St. Augustine, all steeped in history. One such tradition is over 65 years old. It's known as the royal family. The concept of the royal family was created in 1958 to represent the city in a series of events to celebrate Easter. The city of St. Augustine has named the royal family as the goodwill ambassadors of the city. They represent the actual reigning Spanish monarchy that ordered the construction of our beautiful fort, the Castillo de San Marcos. Work began in 1672 under the direction of Queen Regent Mariana of Spain, her young son King Carlos II, and the young princess Margarita Teresa. The trio that stands before you today portray this royal family who contributed so much to our beautiful city by having built the Castillo. In order to qualify to represent the city as a member of the royal family, one must be able to trace their heritage back to the first or second Spanish period or the British period, making them heritage natives of St. Augustine. I'd like to begin this evening with the introduction of the Royal Guards of St. Augustine's Royal Trio. These brave men accompany the Royal Trio as their personal guards when they appear in public, representing our city at various events. Let's begin by introducing Jamie St. Ange. And guard George Garcia. Thank you, gentlemen, for your dedication and service to the royal family. It is my great pleasure to introduce you the newly crowned King Carlos II for the year 2025 for the city of St. Augustine, Braxton Rojero, and his young pages, River and Brooks Root. I present our new Queen Mariana for the city of St. Augustine, Jenny Wartalowicz. She is followed by our beautiful young princess, Margarita Teresa, Trinity Root. And now let's take a moment to welcome and introduce our entourage in court. May I present Laura Murphy. Now introducing Shannon Garcia. Laura and Shannon both past queens with the Royal Trio in 2024 for Laura, and Shannon in 2017. And now, Kathy Allen. so far, but now it's time to introduce our entertainment this evening. Sam, would you please do us a favor? Play for us now. I would like to ask James Bullock, this year's nominee, to stand, please. James Bullock is well known in the city of St. Augustine for making history come to life. He has represented over 12 different historical people across 11 different venues. In his most recent venue, James reenacts multiple people that stayed, lived, and worked at the Jimenez Facio House Museum during the years 1805 to 1889. This exhibit and tour, called I Lived Here as Well, has been featured on multiple local news stations such as First Coast News and 904 Now. In October 2024, the National Society of the Colonial Dames of America awarded to James the Lamar Award for Excellence for his part in the I Lived Here as Well, which was recognized as the lasting contribution to preserve and promote America's heritage. James was also awarded the Stetson Kennedy Foundation 2024 Fellow Man and Mother Earth Award for his mastery of storytelling and as a living history expert, sharing stories that include his personal testimonies, knowledge, and love of Florida's history. Other historical figures that James has had the honor to portray include Captain Francisco Menendez, who was the captain of the Fort Mose militia at Fort Mose State Park. Abraham, who was the interpreter for the Native American Osceola. Esteban, who was the first person born in Africa to set foot in what is the current continental United States. General Jose Biasau, who was born a slave but became the second highest paid man in Spanish Florida in 1875. General Biasau defeated the French in the Haitian Revolt. His portrayals have occurred in many locations besides St. Augustine, such as Tallahassee, Miami, Georgia, and Alabama. James participated in the 450th anniversary of the city of St. Augustine. He also held roles in various theater productions, such as Raisin in the Sun, To Kill a Mockingbird, Of Mice and Men, and many more. James is married to his wife Nancy and has two sons, Jesse, who was married to Aquila, and Miles, one granddaughter, Luna Rose, and James gives his thanks and love to his family for all of their love and support. James, our community is honored to have someone who is devoted not only to the history of the city, but to the stories and memories as well. And with that, and with the assistance of our captain, I would like to ask our Queen Mariana to step forward, please. And now please bear witness as Queen Mariana knights this well-deserved person with the title Sir James.
Sir James.
Sir James. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great privilege to introduce you to Sir James. Our next honoree is Lee Craig. Lee is a native of St. Augustine and a direct descendant of the Menorcans. She has 2 children and 4 grandchildren. Lee is one of the founders of the Menorcan Experience, which shares information about the Menorcan people. The Menorcans were a group of indentured servants that came mostly from the island of Menorca, but some from the group came from other countries like Greece, Italy, France, and Spain. They were contracted with a British man named Turnbull to come to Florida in the year 1768, which was during the British period in Florida. Due to the harsh conditions, about half of the 1,400 people died. In the year 1777, the terms of the contract were coming to a close, but Turnbull showed no signs of holding up his end of the contract, which was to give the Menorcans a portion of the land and release them from servitude. The Menorcans escaped to St. Augustine, where they made a significant impact on the history of our city. The Menorcan Experience shares programs and information about this remarkable group of people. Lee and her counterparts dress in period clothing, make heritage crafts, and share the stories of people that became a vital part of St. Augustine and St. John's County to this day. We are indeed blessed to have a person of this caliber working and serving in our community. For those reasons and so many more, today we honor and knight Lee, and she shall henceforth be known as Lady Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great privilege to introduce you to Lady Lee. Last but not least, our final honoree is Don Crislow. Don Crislow is a member of some of the oldest families in Spanish Florida. His earliest recorded family member in the area is Juan Diaz, who was born in St. Augustine in 1595. His Don also has Menorcan heritage. His main Menorcan ancestry comes from the Oliveras family, which originally were from the island of Crete, and from the Usina family, which came from the island of Menorca. After these families arrived in St. Augustine, they married into the Spanish families that were returning from Cuba after the British period of Florida ended. Don's great-grandfather was Samuel W. Crislow. Samuel became the first treasurer of the Florida East Coast Railroad. Samuel's family came from the island of Barbados, where a related English governor was also a Crislow. Samuel married Mara Lena Oliveras, one of the Menorcans in town at that time. As part of honoring this heritage, Don has volunteered on many boards across the city of St. Augustine. Just a few of about the 15 that he has held over his lifetime include the Board of Trustees for St. Augustine Lighthouse and Museum for 3 years, member of the Florida Trust for Historic Preservation for over 20 years, Board of Directors of St. Augustine Historical Society for 3 years, member of the American Institute of Architects for 40 years, current president of the St. Augustine Historical Society, former city commissioner and vice mayor for 12 years. Don is an architect by trade and has served as project architect on restorations for multiple historical sites, such as Don Miguel O'Reilly House, the Cathedral Basilica, Villa Florida, the Collector Historic Inn and Gardens, the Preserved Restaurant, the historic renovation of St. Benedict School in Lincolnville, St. Joseph Neighborhood Center, among others. And now, please bear witness as Queen Mariana knights this well-deserved person with the title of Sir Don. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great privilege to introduce you to Sir Don. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to a little more entertainment from Sam Passetti. Sam, please. Easter Week Festival Committee and the royal family, we would like to present you with a token of our appreciation so that you might know just how grateful we are to you personally for all of your contributions to our beautiful city and community. Well deserved, and thank you all so much. And now, just a simple reminder, this is not our final event for the year. I remind you that Saturday at 9 a.m. is the Easter Parade. It starts by the old jail, comes down San Marco by the Castillo, and then turns here on Cathedral Place, and finishes up north on Cordova Street. Then, on Easter Sunday, the entourage of the royal family will be hosting an Easter promenade at the Plaza de la Constitucion, just across the street. Registration begins at noon on Easter Sunday. Judging begins at 1 p.m. It is open and free to the public. I want to thank our new royal family for a job well done, and once again extend our thanks to the newly knighted honorees. Thanks to you all for attending tonight. By the way, those of you who would like to remain behind and have your photographs taken with the royal family and entourage, they will be available to meet with you. Please enjoy the refreshments. And one last thank you to the families of our honorees tonight. Parade and Sunday for the promenade.